Ke maswabi. I feel sorry for the newfound hobos because they're not listening to me. I call them hobos because they're as good as homeless. Homeless. They're ones running away from my ministry. Homeless. At least lona la trapiwa ko hen for being unruly esikolweni. I mean, after all, you done cut the girl's ponytail off. O tlo ravazwa o fitla ko ntlong. Ko go tumpa ka lebanta. Ha ke qeta mo be ke go kwala go ka moreng ya ha o nahane about ntho we yentseng. Ha ke qeta mo be ke go bulela be ke go tumpa vievie. You're better off than D ugly chicken lime katwani that's homeless. Because lababa homeless, they're worse off even than you. At least lona you're chilling outside of my life. Leng koreletse nkare ke hita le be tlhagele dipala. Cause go na le chance. But I'm the last chance you got. Absent of you repenting because of this message of mine, you will go to the hottest part of hell. You're at a crossroads like Bone Thugs and Harmony, and you're gonna miss everybody. You are at a crossroads. You are at the last place you can ever be. Because when you leave my ministry, you too will be homeless. But you will be homeless more even than the presently homeless. Because you will have been decidedly arrogant to leave Guinea for inyongo that you are. For all the nonsense that you keep on doing, and then you have the brazen audacity in Swato ya go ba derelict. Waswabisa ko heno, you're a disappointment. Bese yofuna ukuyoboshisa uma wakho for ukutrapela into ekhona. You wanna go and get your mama arrested for go tumpela ntho leng teng. Why unzo ngwapa bana ba bang ko sekolong? A re bueng. Why o kutile mego wa ngwana wa lego ko sekolong? A re bueng. Why o utsutse lunch weekends e bully ko sekolong? A re bueng Tshepo. No, let's talk about why unzo le busy o lahla ditulo ko sekolong, unzo karapa o ngwapa mistress. Unzo disrespect. Why unzo o trika bana? Why o beya the farting cushion on the teacher's chair? Why are you such a menace? Top of that, ha re tlo bona di results tsa gago o dutse mo 30% o buti. You are on 27% ngwana tu. O se tlaila mara mme wa teng le ntate wa teng ke doctor le lawyer respectively. Ba phasitse bona ba le 2, ba na le degree. Mara wena o dutse ko 25% because all you can do is go kuta di ponytails tsa bana ba mago. So I mean really and truly, ha o tlonkisa maponiseng nna for go trapa. Ke o ka ba homeless. Ntswaki o ha ena le gae homeless. O tlo ntshwarisa le ntate wa teng cause re go trapile. Re go kopantshitse le mabota ka go ra go ntsha meno ngwana tso. Go gwentse favor. A ke re you already losing meno wa gago. Tooth fairy ke mo haya wa kolega re wantshitse re go thusitse we basically sped up the process of bringing your permanent teeth on board cause no tell. We removed your teeth ka di plier cause no tell. Oborisa maponiseng. Jwanong ke mo tsweba ikentse orphan. That's what's good. Yeah. This little gundwani of a child has made himself an orphan. And y'all know what happens in orphan streets, right? When you are being put through the system, Angish. Aishem. But basa pepang bana. Men and women that have not brought children into this world, they will show you flames. I've seen my mom do it. I have seen my mom show a kid that was not born from her womb flames. Just because how ngwana hae, even though o go tlhokometse for a season, o tlo favor ngwana hae over you. O tlo tlhatso dijana ka ofela tsa ntlo. You are going, how could, and the smallest little infraction or check you up for 10 days, and you are going to constantly keep on getting threatened with ukoshwa like Jardim. Kids that aren't born to men and women, if they happen upon women and men with no scruples in their care as foster parents, Hashem, they will be shown flames. So when now auto arresting your birth mom and your birth dad that you can disrespect, di foster parents if at all, or worse, you'll end up as a party favorite on Diddy's table, making like a big fat chunky pig with an apple in the mouth, but instead of it being a pig, it's you. You will be trafficked. Utlaba homeless. So tswela pele tswebanyana ya ngwana ya go tella ya go kuta miri ya bana ba bago go sekolong. Go on right ahead. Yobula SAP case 2024 November/16. Tamai. Keep on trying to arrest Christians for calling you out on the crap you are, because we are like your mommies and your daddies. We are very harsh disciplinaries. Do you understand? Disciplinarians. Line on your Azies. And then because it's 2024 and you've got rights, you've got freedoms of rights, and your parents can get arrested for disciplining you, corporate punishment is outlawed. While the scriptures say don't spare them children the rod. Yeah, Christians be out here clobbering you with the pafasanting. We are not sparing you little children the rod. And you are arresting us with your satanic ritual santing. Lipizi garu nanzelere lawyer. You are busy out here incarcerating us in these YouTube streets. Eh? Le patala di tswibinkinyana tsa ko YouTube go lo tswala di channel tsa rona le re boshwe le re baya ko danyane ya social media or ba ska re mamela ba re tumpe ka di binary code. Ones and zeros. We gotta out here in these streets walk around with nobody looking at us despite having excellent Christian content. Chef's kiss. That's how brilliant our work is. Mara, nobody's watching us. Let's consider your birth parents, the only people that out here be caring for you despite everybody else not giving a rat's behind what happens with you, because you're a foster child. Yeah, just being run through the system, an inconvenience. The city, the province, the state is paying this person to take care of you, and frankly they feel like they're not getting enough given that wababora. Yeah, we are given an incentive to love you the way that you ought to be loved into the kingdom of heaven and everything, and then you insist on going to your little satanic brothels and bewitching the living daylights out of the body of Christ, the only people that are investing in snatching you from the flames of hell. And then you tell yourself, you will survive out there in the streets. Homeless, 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 homeless. Homeless. Oh, you don't want to face the music. Oh God, He gave us a spiritual gift to see the Lord is like principal esikolweni. Hey, on some Karabo ako bone di tshepiso rubbish o busy ka korobela hape. Karabo ako bone di rinelwe rubbish o busy nge block the career. O busy umuntu ubhadale YouTube ukuthi ungatsolo umsebenzi ungakhona ungumonetizer. Lo muntu kudala aqalile ngale rubbish umubheke manje useka busy ne death ritual futhi human sacrifice 24 hours a day afuna ukekela nonsense. Manje angazi ukuthi u expect ukuthi kwenzakala bomantoni hambi yomtshela indaba zakhe eJardin. And now you come to Ijarati land. Bese uyadelela ngoba South African government and the Department of Education has given you the right to arrest me if I trap you for not attending class. Nyempel. Eh? They have outlawed corporal punishment. A black government that outlaw corporal punishment. You think that white people are the ones here that don't beat the children because they are gentle parents? But the apartheid regimes was the one that was okay with corporal punishment. And then the black government take come, even though they trap the children in the household, and then you do away with corporal punishment. And now look at the children stabbing the teacher in the school. The black government, like black folk are the ones that are apparently rough and violent with children. Black people are apparently the ones that are harsh. We're the strict parents. There's so many little shorts doing their rounds on social media, describing difference between white parents and black parents. And apparently white parents are into gentle parenting, but the white regime that used to ransack the living daylights out of all of South Africa during apartheid, corporal punishment underneath them was legal. In the beginning stages, Mina, of my upbringing as a child in school, we used to get drapa, They used to whip us, and whatnot, even in white schools. But now corporal punishment has been outlawed. Even though the Bible says that don't spare the child the rod, it wasn't broken. So here it is that a black government went on right ahead and employed gentle parenting. And now the schools are in disarray. While the Lord is not the kind of teacher to go and outlaw corporal punishment. He is going to trap you. Because you are shy. Kodwa, we are living in an imbalanced world where good is called evil and evil is called good, bitter is called sweet. Things are upside down. So akutrapwa manje. Get gentle parentwa. Get understandwa. When a child is crazy. Lenkare le bana ke. Le dintwana kaofela le kopana. Ha le mature. I mean really ke ngwana fela o tlo utswetsa ngwana mme wa tšhelete guys. Ke ngwana fela. Otlonanza pusha uswa gage over the end. You know how sibling rivalry at jartini ukuthi kunjani ebandla we oh yo. Nale my older sister, I was always the weak one, right? My muscle mass, what? Muscle for what? Muscle schmuscle. You could blow me down. Mara the way neke foster ka thing. So you know ele yeah all over the show. La scratch hand. That's how I used to fight with my sister. Mara she would always pin me to the ground. Pin me to the ground. Lights out. How na cousin esoka winang in a battle mina against me because I was always the weak one. Kodwa mengi sister mengilwa nto go ska tongtshwetsa. Hey man. And then I would come out with the scratch and the bruise. I was always the one oba mo pinang down no. And then at the end of it all they say nyabalekela to abazalo and they would not do anything because of sibling rivalry. Kids are the ones that do that stuff. Batrapang each other's siblings. Balwana nje fela. As siblings. You be out here karaping somebody born from the same womb as you. You don't want share nothing, no. Halega to share the biscuit, halega to share juice. Halega te batong. You will paisa each other, hey? No camaraderie, no got your back, nothing. Only when kids get a little bit older, like you know, when you get to your 20s. That's when you start to like have the bag and be like, hey girl, I'm so sorry. I was so wag as a teenager. I was so wag when I was 7. I can't believe that I was always trying to scarapa you. I was always trying to wampa you. But as kids, I share. Maguna tact, no decorum. When you're kids, there's no decorum. There's no tact. There's no, I got your back, you got mine. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. There's no, especially the younger one. Mom, I saw the sister Jonathan. She was kissing the boy with the romantic kiss next door. And everything was over. I saw. Whoa. Snitches got stitches. Don't nobody care. When you're a kid, because you're just always trying to gain favor from your parents at the expense of your mom. Yeah. Children are the ones that steal each other's lunch. They're the ones that paisa one another. And they're the ones that don't care if the other one is okay or not. They're the ones that are always trying to look much better in front of parents at the expense of their siblings. They're the ones that will dripa their sibling and sabotage the living daylights out of them. Just so they look better than their sibling. So I mean, when you're acting like a freaking 5-year-old, as a 27-year-old, as a 30-year-old, when you are going to Isangoma to make yourself look better than your sibling, I mean, you're the one that stole your sister's cake, right? Slice of the cake. Because during the time of partitioning the cake, that's when I eat in the refrigerator. And then your sibling does not even know that there was cake there in the first place. Because your mom is not concentrating on Indabeguti, some little unruly child is eating her sister's portion of the cake. Unless the sister is told that there was a piece of cake in the fridge for you, my child. Kodwa lenjale called your little sister Karabo. Unless somebody lets your sister know that a little cake was taken, can't nobody know. But somebody did steal it. And you'll be out just stealing from your siblings. Ana motho ba jwetsang hore lerato o utsweditse Pinky career. All that Pinky is experiencing is blockages, for freaking crying out loud. Uya interviewer lo muntu akathola imisebenzi. Hey, all that Pinky is experiencing is indaba yokuthi akachadwa kodwa untswembu. Hey, every guy nje fela uyandlula la first stop because the sister doesn't want her own sibling to get married. Unless somebody lets you know hore go utsweditswe santsinyana. The piece of pie that I left in the refrigerator for you, ithatwe ukabelo die rubbish. Usizwe is not gonna know. And so Sizwe stays in the dark unless Sizwe is told by God that your sister is a witch. Your brother is satanenyan. And ofilangare itloba yana liwan. That's going to succeed like Jardin. That's the stuff of kids. Kids throw in each other under the bus all the time. I've been a maturity. They don't know how to be loyal to one another. Because they're always just trying to win the favor of the parent or something to be better. I competition yabo what is called immature. Because ngabantwana ngisho. And absent of abazali being fair and impartial, these kids would literally destroy each other into oblivion. So thank the Lord, hallelujah, in the sky la ezulwini phamba phezulu iminwe ibuke uGod. Absent of a responsible parent. Basically recalibrating scales, creating equilibrium, restoring homeostasis in a household. Children would ruin everything. They would drive themselves to chaos. Kubhalwe elizwini laka Samandler. It's written in God's word that in the heart of a child dwells a great deal of folly, but the rod of discipline drives it away. Amen. Let's repeat. In the heart of a child dwells a great deal of folly, but the rod of discipline drives it away. Sigdela bona mo lifeng. Lebana. And let's nyoko rubbish, nonsense. Your hearts are deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. La utswa fela la trapa la tumpa le kere miri ya bana ba bang ko sekolong. Ha le batlo bala mara le batla ho phasa. A ke tlhaloganya. You are into ill-gotten gain. You want to be progressed la emgaqweni ningafundanga. Le batla di MBA le sa dula ke re le ko lecturing A1. In love. You want to gain stuff kodwa izothathwa. That's what's good. So manje ubani that's been set apart la ukuntrapa nize nibe right. Eh? Le bana ke. And in your hearts dwells a great deal of folly, but the rod of discipline will drive it away. I'm the one here in these streets that's a parent figure of all of your little kinders. Lankutla. Kimmewa lon. And a kimmewa apartheid regime. Kimmewa kutrapa ka corporal punishment. Kimmewa pafali tupa. Krensha poli tupa ya tenge ke khojwa re wena we pick away lata kos fateng. Your perfect size. Choose your own girth and your own length. Bese nyong trapa ngayo. Kole trapa ka your own dead deeds lankutla. Mara leng bad because I get a little born free. After 1994, black government are just doing away with corporate punishment. Mara I'm still trapping you because that's just the nature of Christianity. Right? Ujesu Kriste is the same today, tomorrow, and forever, ever. Agashinji lo muntu. Kodwa yini nishintsha ngathi ngamapenti. Top of that namapenti wakhona are very dirty. And like laundry, mina ngizowahengisha ngisho wonke umuntu abona all of your junk and your junk. That's what's good. The Lord is the same today, tomorrow, and forever. Agashinji. He is immutable. So whether or not your apartheid, your post-apartheid, new democracy, new South Africa, rainbow nation government just so happens to think Uguti corporal punishment is barbaric, I don't care. And neither does God. The Lord doesn't care that your governments don't care to discipline kids anymore. Jesus and so his saints don't change their minds. We stay what you call kind of dogmatic. That's what you call us. Bigoted and so dogmatic because that's what's good. Hey, with my bigotry, nyon ravaza. And with my bigotry, nizongi arresta. Linkisa maponiseng. Marajaka hake le motswadi wa lona dintswa. Hanna ke arrestwa. Mangi boshwa mina. Bye le ndlula le uhlala kuyo. Bye lokudla nalokugwinya lo thandayo that has made you fresh usidudla njengosidudla ngakhona. Awufuni nokugijima in the athletics team. You are rotund. You are Oliver. Usdodla. Never before has a boy wanted more. You're Augustus Gloop. That great big greedy nincompoop. From Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Mafura dulang answer around your chin. Cause blanzo ja grab. Gone. Utlay tlhaloganya eating disorder ngenkani wankutla. Anorexia nervosa. Uzosifundisa malnutrition ngenkani. Uzothola iskevi nama-rickets nekwashi yokor because you dared have the praise and audacity. Look at you go. Uyoboshisa umzali wakho ngoba ukutravile. Rightly. If you arrest your mom, where you gonna stay, you little idiot? If you send your dad into prison, you are going to wish you never did it. It's that basic. And that's what you're doing to Christians. Laboratories, left and right. We are falling away from the internet. Like, last night I woke up this morning. I've been taking a break. Break, and he said to me, Chad, Watchman on the Wall 88. Chad, Watchman on the Wall 88. I was like, oh yeah, where he be? Where my brother Chad at? There is this young gentleman on the internet machine by the name of Chad, a Christian. The name of his channel is Watchman on the Wall 88. And I used to watch his content every time he would put content online. And he has not, as I would come to discover, posted in 7 months. And I did not know this because, out of sight, out of mind. Until God brought him to my mind. He was like, Chad, Watchman on the Wall 88. So I went and I searched him, found his channel, only to discover that his last post was 1 month ago, but before then it was 7 months ago. The guy used to upload content almost every day. And I was like, oh wow, that's why I haven't been seeing Chad. It was out of sight, out of mind. It's not like I was missing him, because him not being on the internet, Chad not being on the internet, I did not conclude. I didn't think anything of it. I didn't even miss him, because there's so many other channels that I watch. But God had to bring him to my memory. God had to bring him to my memory. And then I went looking for him, only to discover that that he's basically disappeared off Facebook, not Facebook, but YouTube. And I was like, why? And God was like, you know why, Karabo. You know why. That keep on arresting abazali babo. These little unruly children that hate the road, that keep on arresting their parents because they've got rights. Department of Education got me. The law got me. I've got fundamental constitutional rights. I've got rights, me. One on a lisp because his 2 front teeth are so fully. The way Hlongwane got thing. Since an ali busy deep bar. That are rights. Yeah. You have a right to go to hell by all means, Amba. And so you arrest your parents that have given you a house. And now they don't have a home to stay. The Lord was telling me that the same thing about the thing that they're trying to do with you is the thing that they did with Chad. I have not listened to Chad in months. Like, Papa, I wasn't thinking about him, and he was brought to my memory. And I went and I looked for his channel, only to discover that last time I posted was 7 months ago. Well, it was a month ago, but a month ago he posted some 6-minute video and then disappeared again. He is discouraged. That's what God is showing me. Because of all of this witchcraft. Look, Sangana Logu. The man is prophesying. He is always just checking up what's going on online. Sorry, on the global scene. Basically verifying Bible prophecy against world events and all that jazz. And you would listen to him like clockwork every time he would upload content, very informative, and he stopped working. I would imagine what happened with Chad is that he was persecuted in his working environment, in the office where he works. In his personal life, he was persecuted. And likely, something that also happened on the internet, maybe emails, maybe harassment of sorts, that made him down tools. He's not the only one. Another one of my sisters that just completely disappeared off social media, rocked up for like 5 seconds and then disappeared again, was so frustrated and so afflicted that she even privatized her content. Romo 10 from Germany. Chad is from the US. Romo 10 is from Germany. Christians that just keep on falling apart and leaving their social media content because look at you, arrest us. Hey? I've got rights, me. I've got rights. And so you cause your parents to be arrested. You cause your parents to be arrested because you live in a country that outlawed that which was perfectly functional. It kept kids in a bunch. Lebana. And like children, you steal your siblings' everything. You snitch on your siblings. You have no loyalty, no camaraderie. Ingati anizalanga from the same womb. You are full of roughness. Have you seen the way that kids like, if you've been any kind of little child as a girl, you would know how the boy that had a crush on you treated you. I mean, like, it was just so rough and so violent. I have had my skirt painted as an kapente during construction work by some boy that had a crush on me, and the way that he showed me those affections was by painting my brand spanking new skirt with yellow paint. That's how little boys shella. Or they will shove you, they will push you, or they will tease you and mock you. Eh? batlo go gwara motho teng wa go lanza only for you to find out ukuthi une crush. Hey, uyahleka every time you talk, but when you're not looking he's staring, and when you look in this direction he then looks away. Oh, so you like me, but you keep on clobbering me. Wampusha wangshava, you call me names, and on a really bad day you paint my skirt with yellow paint. That's how boys show their affection to little girls. And don't I have yellow paint on my skirt? Don't I have scratches? Am I not name called by all these nasty little psychopaths that have feelings for me? Kibana. They're children. They've shadow banned me. They've said uzobona ukuthi uthola kuphi imali ke. Ana motho tlo go rata Karabo. They have whammied me, slapped me. Some of them have cursed my face. Ke ha ka tsofala overnight because abatlo ngqoma. The dude, there's a 38-year-old man. Lenja le ayina nemali. He is a bum. That's what this world calls a bum. But you see, that's the thing about witchcraft. You don't got to be expensive or moneyed. In order for you to target anything la emgaqweni. That's why abantu aba poverty stricken aba hluphekile bathanda ukuthakatha kangaka, and yet still stay poor. Witchcraft, the devil knows how to work it in all sectors of society, all ranks, layers, tiers of society. He knows how to work it like a call girl. In that, when you're in the lower ranks of society, he will cause cheap below the belt witchcraft like shoni, little mukozis that sell amaperekis, killing like little kids for simply stealing their perekisis as they are selling. Little next door neighbor witches killing your livestock. Wonke umuntu uhluphekile la in the plazas. Kodwa ubuthakathi bakhona. Wonke umuntu uhluphekile ema rural areas. Ka fela ba dusty from the dust of Rustenburg. But the way uthakathwa ngakhona, to a point of ukuhonta, like hauntings, like sightings of aberrations in the Kasi. Don't be out at like 8 p.m. because you gonna see stuff in that corner because kuhlala omunye umthakathi umrolong. Umlotsana nyano hard knock. Umlotsana ukhona hlala emkhukhwini. What the heck? Umloyi mara awuna chelete. How are you not able to wish wealth into your pocket? Ukhona ubulaya. Human sacrifice rituals. Kids always just passing away from mysterious illnesses. Kodwa lo muntu wakhona, albeit being able to kill ngemithi, akakwazi ukuzenza wealthy, akakwazi ukuzikhipha emkhukhwini, cannot take themselves out of stipend sa government, sa retirement. Mara kimoloyi. The devil knows how to make you work it like a call girl. He helps you become a nice little brothel frequenter. Ota who keep that only prostitute despite it not paying off. It's just so much easier to work an honest job, and yet you are just selling your body for jack. The poor stay poor, and the wealthy stay wealthy. Like no one ever really changes the echelon. Umuntu ongenamali ngesosari prospers to steal a business yama keep of his next door neighbor. So now he's got revenue yama keep, but he is not out here running a franchise at KFC, because Satan knows how to keep the poor in prostitution, but within either lowly rungs or lofty. So all these men and women in their hard knock secret societies, the hard knock, the Illuminati, that think that they got wealthy because of the power of the devil. No, Satan knows how to keep you in sorcery and make you believe it has improved your life, when the evidence is stark all over society that all he does is make you get addicted to a drug that was worthless. Because the poor stay poor despite practicing similar witchcraft to the wealthy. They literally do the same rituals, death spells, human sacrifice rituals, wealth transfers, and yet the wealth that gets transferred is only within their stupid little echelon. It's within their echelon. Umthakathi wase Diepsloot is only going to prosper to steal a butcher shop. Yes, a Diepsloot. Akazothatha ikareka Beyonce. Anibon lento. It's obvious in your face. So kunabantu bengenamali, lamadoda ayasokola, they can't get jobs in corporate South Africa. Bayangifuna, however, because they have prospered. Ukyofiria and Bitlisa and Fofora, abo chicken, bahlala nabo la emkhukhwini or rekodi RDP houses mo badulang teng. Khalanza nkadi chomi di cherinyana all over the show. Di makhwapeni tse 20 in 1 year. Hona ko di RDP houses. So njanyana e ya go tsaya di cherry tsa ko di RDP houses ena no re nna ke one of them cherries at the RDP houses. So at the age of 38, living kwi RDP house, unable to take care of me, ufila engathi ikorobela yasebenzise kwi next door neighbor ezosebenza la kum. There is an uneducated 38-year-old bum that, however, has access to internet. I don't know how that's going down. These days, Wi-Fi is very cheap. That thinks ukuthi among the plethora of men that are all up in my grill, ukuthi mina ngumfazi wakhona. So ngitumpile ka korobela, o batla long kenya mo ara ntlo ya RDP. Una 38. And it doesn't matter that I'm too educated for him. I'm too smart. I'm too experienced, too afflicted, and too Christian to end up mina ngiblome ninja engangifanele. Kodwa because I'm poor for now, kanguthi ngike my size. Cause yena kudala abafereya abasucceeda labo cheri laba in his environment. Witchcraft is cheap, y'all. It's really cheap. And so a self-practicing elder, RDP house dweller that thinks he's got more money than me, so I mean, of course I'm gonna take him with his RDP house and he's 38 years of age. With banaba bangatangata la emgaqweni, imaginative ukuthi uzongichata, he can't see he does not stand a chance in the grander scheme of things with me, because while yena, he might have more money than me, because right now I've got nothing at all to my name. There are men with way more money than him still also pursuing me with the same witchcraft. There is a tycoon, as in wealthy millionaire guy, who is 21. I don't even know if he's a millionaire or a billionaire, but he's 21 years older than me. And he is the reason why YouTube has shadow banned me. He's powerful. This man is gonna die soon, all right? And he wanted me as Inyansi. He wanted to fly me all over the world and give me the soft life. Essentially, megafunu be blessed I am. And yet there is another one chilling in an RDP house on a 38 that thinks Uguti, he has a shot with me, even though there is a multi-millionaire tycoon that wants to fly me all over this world just to be Inyatsi yakhe. They can't call Gababon. Kao fela ke bana. Bashala jwal. O wa ntlo ya RDP. O frazwa ke taba hore ke bohlale. And I'm like, yeah, of course, dude. You will be frustrated with my intelligence and how I'm figuring stuff out, because bodomo ba the occult is such that halibon, even when you are literally reaching too far, man, and too deep, like when somebody is not in your league, like just this RDP house rando, frankly, in terms of his statistics, slays the guy in America. So because he slays the guy in America, Ohlanyang, who's another RDP dweller, yeah, America, but he is not better. He is not better in terms of his socioeconomic standing. However, spiritually, bonke bayafana, they like Oedipus trying to sleep with their mama. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, socioeconomically, he is lesser than my ex-boyfriend, much lesser than some of these other men bang patlang, but all of them are using the exact same witchcraft. Like some kind of begaminat pela, some kind of stirring rambo witchcraft that they think they can use to make a woman wamzalwan to get over ubzalwani bakhe. But they all think that the reason why my content is going nowhere is because bona babogile. Over and okay, so the one RDP house, that's another one. There was another dude from South Africa, and he had the brazen audacity to contact me. Okay, and after 2 days, this guy has slapped me kakorobela, and now he is a utwasile. So he's angoma, ne? Na yakana msebenzi kodwa megafuna icherry nje enzwembu yomzalwane, and he was a Gen Z, so he was a child in comparison to me. Yeah, this one not twele, sorry, otwasile, because he's a self-practicing witch doctor. His witchcraft is bottomless. There's more where it came from, because he went to the University of Witchcraft. So gufree ugungi bhidlisela ikamva lam lonke. Ngabantwana labantu, they are just children. Do you understand? Kaufela ke bana. Mara one of these children is a millionaire, multimillionaire. Omunye is a naive RDP dweller. Omunye ikinza lase America. Omunye, your ex-boyfriend, yasini, they come from all walks of life. Abangambazi. And then there was another one that God showed me is tempted to send me an email, because bakanguti, they are cloaking spells. Is it different? Zihlukile in comparison to the cloaking spells of others, right? Bayazi ukuthi ngiyabona ngiyaboniswa, I'm Mzalwani with eyes to see and ears to hear. Let the spirit hear what the spirit speaks to the churches. Ngiyabona. So because that's what I born, but the D ones, ne? They will do a spell to conceal their witchcraft so I don't see them. The guy wako South Africa wa Gen Z that communicated with me he did a cloaking spell before he cast spells on me because my guy is good ngiyabona ngambona a shelling angqunu ale jwalo a shapile straight mo strateng bo jotlhe ba gagwe ka ofela bontshitswe boikotlolla yawning nkare bo qeta o tsoga o seng ngambona anjalo nar ale fra. Despite cloaking spell yakhe and like I said, he went to the mountain entabeni uthwasile lo muntu. He's a whole twasified sangoma, and despite what he imagines to be postgraduate certification in witchcraft, because uthwasile, I still saw him. In other words, that which is done in the secret, dark, dingy places, God uzobakhipha ngamatsophe namabhonga exposed la emgaqweni nje fela rolling around riding a bicycle bangaqokanga, afflicting their nether regions. Uyabakhipha banjalo nje just dangling. And then I get really irritated afterwards. So the ones that are most in danger are the ones that write me. Why? Because ke ba tseba ka mabitso le disename di difatlhego sometimes if I have access to their Facebook profiles. So this Kabelo dude, yeah, the name of this one, Kabelo, because I got a dream where I got an inbox, an email on my email, not even on Facebook per se. So utotsi email address, I can likely go YouTube. Angola email on some, hey Karabo, oh my goodness, I'm so supportive of you. I'm so sorry that life so badly sucks. Wada obatla uflet amarake moloi. And he's going to want to exercise self-control to not bewitch me because ufila engati convicted of sin. I don't know what his age is per se, but and the reason why the Lord showed me this guy was to make sure Rekeskamo respond at all. Ukabza ungangipaleli putwam ngoba just like uputiwe RDP house, just like the baga lo ongpalele we Gen Z opampile, and just like the guy in America that got 5 seconds of fame in my life wapampa following that. Just like this 21-year-old older geezer, le geriatric, lo baba mkhulu, lo ngifunayo ngenkani ufuna ukungindizisa in isfufani all over the world. Just like my ex-boyfriends, just like many of these guys bang shebileng basing show. Baling trepidatious sitting outside of my life. Ba tletse ka di 5-2 ampor ba batla o zama o bona hore, you know, can they not maybe just trying to hit that or whatever. Ungazami. Kabelo umntana, Kabelo ndini. Ngwana batho ejale gapu ne la the fruit of the Holy Spirit o be soba o tlogele go leetsa le gapu la punch lo tshetseng Smirnoff ka molona doloponyana ya something e strong tlogela ka di methylated spirits go dinwa o butaker tswa mo Smirnoffing le best brand le patchy enang le manala le JS fluid tswang mo di narcotics. My content and just get sober. You like me, you have a crush. Thank you, I'm flattered. Given that I'm 40 years old, I've been feeling kind of old and kind of like obsolete. So I am flattered that you think I'm pretty, but I'm not up for grabs, especially not by occult practitioners. So Kabelo, Pumagim boy. Don't even bother Gabza. Osgang kwalla. Auto bump. Do not even send me that email. But I'm trying to help you understand I am freaking prophetic. And so either uzongena ka step twang di boni ngwana tshwana le lekhalate twang either o tlo kena ka step nkaro o ko lenyalong ka jaaka the guy with the DM wa Gen Z ong shapileng ka korobela after knowing me for a week o bumper later. Either uzongena nge step only to be rejected later, or you just avoid to reject at all. And then hal kata ho bumper or hal kata with such messages as these. Bese ninkwatela huffing and puffing and blowing the house down and then bewitch me to never ever come out. Ngizophefumula futhi. Kabelo. And just repent. Do better. When I shamba go favile to a point of showing me in advance. Ukuthi uzongihlangela la emgaqweni. Just leave me alone. Lost me 8. Hauna munna. or ever slide into my DMs or tsirianeng o loyang o itjoditseng gore yena o na le cloaking spell ya mhlaba o tlo pata ditlhare tsa gagwe tse tsirianeng cause yena ke steering sa Rambo sa monotweleng o twetseng or o twasitseng that ever conquered. My ex-boyfriend's cloaking spell, when he did a human sacrifice ritual on me, he did a cloaking spell. Bamkipa yena, how his cloaking spell was exposed. Oh, wow, because we look on tabeni, alo twasa, that there's no way I can bust him. His sorcery was amateur even in comparison to my ex-boyfriend's, but he thought he was Rambo. No, because otwasile, so precisely because otwasile, he imagined Rambo. But my exes defied him, even though my ex-boyfriend aga twasang. He's just consulting much higher level sorcerers and sorceresses. So therefore, what it took for him to get wa twasa ne ona nahana so ore ke Rambo ke mo untshitswe immediately, like his cloaking spell was so worthless, it was so useless that even without fasting, like oh God umkhipha njalo ngobuso and everything, like despite it didn't work. Yeah, my ex-boyfriend, however, was a little bit more sophisticated. Yeah, his cloaking spell was slightly low, higher order. Angel, like somebody of it was like a colleague in my dream. I understood this person to be my colleague, right, in the same building where I was working, and we were working on a mission, on a project, yet time travel. So essentially, we were going into the future and then coming back to the past, into the future, coming back to the past, into the future, coming back to the past in this dream. That time travel dream was not really time travel in the sense of the word time travel, but God was showing basically prophecy, us going into the future and then coming back into the present to speak of what's going to happen in the future, right? So my colleague, who was also working in the business of time travel, so in other words, in the business of sharing prophecy, Wafiga in this room where I was operating my time travel machinery, about to get in my little pod to go in the future and then come back into the present to tell you what happened there. This dude, this colleague of mine, while I was working my machinery, before I went into my little capsule, my colleague walks up, and he just yanked, say, have you guys been woken up in the morning by an upset parent who was out here throwing their toys out the cot because alarm how keeps going off my house? Have you guys, like in especially winter, remember when you were growing up, your parents just ripping in off your body? Yeah, because it's a Karabo, half past 6 yeah, trying to snooze another 5 minutes, and then your parent peels the blankets off ka roughness, ka violence ya Rambo, ya steering, that's boostering bandit. Yeah, this guy had my ex-boyfriend. They ripped the kobo. He was underneath some kind of a tent that he had buried himself in, inside my little time traveling premises, this office, this facility where we were working. My colleague rocked up and ripped the tent off him. Why expose the exam? And I just looked at him on Sam, and when he got busted, after Babatlosa Dikobotse on him, this tent that he was concealed under, he was so scared. He was so scared. Mega Tugile. He was like shaking in my dream. Like Matagare, he was like and we just looked at him, the two of us, me and my colleague, and we just looked at this freak. Freaking out that he got busted for essentially what would be the worst kind of ritual that a person can ever do. A human sacrifice ritual. He was trying to kill me, my ex-boyfriend. And this colleague of mine in my dream ripped off the cloak of this death spell and showed me who was trying to kill me. And, I exposed him. He did this witchcraft. Basically, the Lord was showing me that at the time of doing it, he was scared to get caught. But he did it anyway. And he did get caught. And in my dream, I saw the fear in his eyes for being busted. Now, as for the colleague, I believe that represented an angel or a Christian standing in the gap, somebody that is in the same ministry as me, someone that is also a kingdom citizen, out here making war with the kingdom of darkness. And the blanket was ripped off his body. So my ex, who is more higher order than the other buffoon, Waktwasa, from South Africa, their little cloaking spells were exposed. Do you understand? So, I mean, you can try. However prolific you might be in the occult, or you thinking, oh, Schwarzenegger, what cloaking spells, was staring. You can think, oh, Rambonyana, hey, little bit of an I'll be back. You be thinking you that like Schwarzenegger Rand or Terminator of the occult. Kung Fu Bruce Lee. But you literally stand the risk of getting exposed. First and foremost, tandaza. All night long, tandaza. Last night I slept for 16 hours, so I did not pray all night, but generally I am prayerful all night long. I'm always fasting. I still haven't broken a 2.5 long month fast. And I'll break it at my own leisure. My body has gotten used to eating 1 meal a day. So it's nothing, really. Water under the bridge, this fasting. So a person that's always fasting and always praying, your cloaking spells ain't jack, y'all. That which is done in the darkness is going to be brought out into the marvelous light. That which is a filthy act is okay, Jabantwanandini. And just like my ex, the tlabele boyfa, let's shaking in your pantyhose. But you will get busted anyway. Because that which is done in the darkness and the secret places, God is going to bring it to the surface. And he brings it to the surface through his servants. It's written in God's word that some demons only come out with fasting and with prayer. And so, seeing as I'm faster and I'm always praying, Gushkuti, I'm at the height of spiritual exposure. There is no loftier level to be at than where it is that I am presently at, and I am constantly in it. And for the past 2.5 months, I've been at the pinnacle of the spiritual level. I've been fasting for 2.5 months straight and praying. Unless I stop fasting or praying, ain't nobody gonna breathe. I never stop praying. Sometimes I stop fasting, but largely I'm always in some kind of perpetual prayer. So whether or not you're a high priest from Africa, whether or not you cover the continent of Europe, the way is irrelevant, because one Christian brings down 10,000, 1,000. If one can bring down 1,000, two brings down 10,000. When we are concerted, exponentially it continues to grow to 100,000 and then 1 million. So, if at all, heaven is advocating for me and I'm advocating for myself, you don't stand a chance. You can come together in a seance of 50,000 occult practitioners and you will still be brought low by the prayers of one saint. It's what I'm getting at. You don't stand a chance. And I'm about to explain to you, God derelict. You are better off sitting outside of my ministry, but some of y'all are so scared to listen to what I have to say. There is so much consternation in you that, like I said, homeless. You will sit outside and be homeless. You will be homeless. Do you understand? In the streets of Johannesburg until you get trafficked into the eternal lake of fire. All of y'all that concert outside of my life, because the Kabelo guy, you know what he tells himself? Again, I'm savings. Dude, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Kabza, eh? Nyasebenza nja. Umsebenzi lonto lona, whether or not you respect or hlonipha, it is only unsung and only unpaid. Because y'all idiots, nina nsangene, litrapwang ke the Holy Spirit, insisted that I don't make money. Mara ke msebenzi o ko etsang ona. Mara le filang ka re le kang shela kang kane. Wona nkele jwatsa go lo gafaswa. Lo tumpi. So Kabelo, seeing as you are listening to me, ne, those 2 or 3 or 5 of you bang mametsing, every so often, ba feel ngathi ngintswembu, ni beautiful. So nizongithatha eventually I am going to capitulate. You are better off than the homeless freaks that are avoiding me. Abanye abangani bam bayang avoida. Yazi guys, abantu bazoshona y'all. My friends, iskim sam sasesikolweni, crew of friends bonke bangithakathile. They all are of the opinion that I'm going to be the first one among them to pass away because my life is so hard. But God showed me the one that rather is my former best friend out of all of them. And recently she has been doing spells on me. Or rather, how she dies or where she dies. Somewhere, the way she grew up, her childhood home. Go between kitchen ya ko habona le back door. Her casket was there. Between kitchen le back door. Like basically there were two doors entering Kohabona, right? How can I get back door? On the right there's a lounge, and on the left there's an open plan kitchen that is also mixed ne dining room. So from the dining room you can see the open plan kitchen, and then there is the lounge on the opposite side. Ke bone le kasi la gage ko kitchening, like in the like basically between the back door, the dining room, and the kitchen. Her casket was right there. And at this funeral, every last one of my friends from school maybe confused as to how it is that huye oshone kal, because it was supposed to be Karabo. Dinjadze were all telling themselves at her funeral, and I was there. So obviously I was not representing myself in that dream because I was all bereft. If that chick passed away in waking life, it's like, let the dead bury their dead. I don't care what happens. Bottom line is they were warned and warned and warned and warned. They are walking in a scorched earth policy where they are telling themselves the finality of me is what is necessary. Manja, when you have declared that kind of war against the kingdom of heaven, Maushona, good riddance. Nonetheless, in my dream, my heart was broken. And I was also of the sentiment in my dream that I was supposed to be the one that died first. So essentially, God was showing me the mindset of the Dobatek. He was showing me thinking because what they did to my life set me up for death failure. And yes, she's going to be the first one to go out. And over her casket, right, like Papa, God showed me the location. So I don't know, either she dies there or on her funeral, her body's going to be there. But it's impossible for them to put Lekasi there because it's just too much in the way of everybody. The traffic in the house is too extreme. So it tells me that either she drops dead from a heart attack or something right there, or something kills her there, like a robbery, a break-in. She does not stay at her home anymore. But she, like something of her lateness, her death happens in that spot, whatever it is. And the reason why I say she dies right on that spot, likely the reason I say that is because in my dream, this chick, well, her body was in the casket. And then I had a vision within the dream of her literally sinking immediately. So her body was in the casket, and then it just continued to sink down. Like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Get Out. There is a scene where this guy gets swallowed into, like he's sitting on a chair, and then his body gets swallowed into some canyon, some void. And he is in this like abysmal outer darkness that he doesn't understand because they have put him under a trance, this white family in this Pleasantville that he has been accosted by. Like, he's been kidnapped by this Pleasantville type village town of his girlfriend that steals black people's bodies and lives in them or whatever. Like, if you've seen the movie Get Out, you know what happens in that movie, right? When they switched, or when they turn on that trinket, that bell or whatever, he gets taken into this vortex, and it's like he's basically sinking into his pillow. It's like he's sinking into his, not so much his pillow, but the chair that he's in, and it swallows him into some kind of a vortex, and then he's in some abysmal outer darkness environment, right, that he gets put in by this family to disappear in there, that they might steal his body. A similar scene of that nature happened with this former friend of mine, where it is that she was in her casket. We could all see her body with an open casket burial, telling me as well that when she passes away, her body is going to be intact, in that it's not going to be the kind of death that is brutal, like a car accident that would bring scars on your face, or a shooting. It happens with her body being whole. That's why I get maybe it's a heart attack or something, you know. And it was an open casket funeral, and all of us were around there. I was all bereft. We were all mourning and thinking to ourselves, Karabo was supposed to go first. I was saying I was supposed to die first. And then her body, as I'm looking at her, I then get a vision within the dream, and she sinks into this casket right there with an open casket funeral, gawking at everybody. She then sinks into this casket, disappearing, and then I get to see the rest of that journey. She then travels down, and then lands in some outer darkness, like cave, some abysmal, dingy, dark place. Immediately of which, upon arriving there, she's like, oh snap, I can't believe I'm here, it's real. And then tries to jump back into her body. She tries to jump back into her body, panicking, freaking out, looking left and right, realizing that she had just arrived in hell. She had just arrived in hell, and then tried to jump up to go into her body, but couldn't. And I saw her arrival in hell. And with me seeing her arrival right there in the abyss at that very immediate moment, was telling me that she passes away at that spot. That's why God showed me her coffin at that spot, her funeral happening at that spot, the open casket funeral happening at that spot, in her parents' house, her mother's house, between kitchen, the dining room, the back door, right on that spot, sinking into the abyss, wanting to dive into her body, jump back into her body, but however, immediately sinking in. So it was basically the Lord showing me the arrogance of my former friends from high school. They are presently of the imagination that this thing is going to result in Hlongwane. But what's rather going to happen is that the first of them to pass away is going to be my former best friend. And how she's going to, or where she's going to die, is going to have everything to do with that spot, and she's going to get to hell thinking she's going to heaven. And it is these people, my former friends, right, that my ministry, they're scared to watch my content. Labantu laba. Last night, as you guys, I just had a plethora of dreams. Last night, one of my friends, right, she went to Wits with her. She's not going to be the first. Out of my crew of friends from high school, my former best friend is going to be the first one to pass away, right? But this one was from varsity. So I can't tell you if she dies first or after, because what I saw in the dream with my former best friend is that out of our friends from high school, she's the first one that's going to go out. But this one is not from high school. So she could either precede my friend, my former best friend, or she could be afterwards, because their events are separated. But I saw her killing herself in her car. I don't know whether or not it was pills or a gun, I don't know, but it was suicide. In her vehicle. And she did it co-officing. She did it at work. Like, she went to her vehicle in the parking bay at work and killed herself in her car. How a person kills themselves in their car, I don't know. Like, for someone to not discover you, I don't know. Like, probably pills or a gun. But she commits suicide. Now, if you have been prophesied to commit suicide and go to hell, and with the level of accuracy being that to a point where you are even communicated, you're going to do it out of the blue. In the office, you're going to be so overwhelmed with depression that you're going to do it go officing. In other words, in a parking lot at work. When you're out here avoiding my content, when that is being prophesied about you, this is a person that's going to be so overwhelmed by her demons that uzos bulala slap bang in the middle of the workday. Because that's just what demons do when they crawl up your skirt. So, I mean, I've already seen the deaths of two of my former friends. And these deaths don't have to happen if these two women repent. But you see, the thing about it is, they're avoiding my content. They are avoiding watching me. And sometimes they use witchcraft to make sure that I don't get anywhere. Yet another one of my friends from school, but the Lord showed me that he's going to keep her reprobate until she dies. In other words, so this chick, everyone in the crew of friends, like, she wanted to be the most successful out of all of us. Was Tagata, she's the only one out of all my friends in one batch. She went to Asangoma, was Tagata Sonke. I don't know if she took little photos of us, downloading them from Facebook, or taking an effigy, taking a hair follicle, a hair strand. I don't know how. She basically tabled us before the Sangoma of hers. Mara unkile screams are gonna go fella really 6. I get really 7. Aranga go fella really 6. I'm going to succeed above all of them. So Ustagate in one sitting, wah, like a tsunami.